My dear friends, fear is a shadow that visits every soul. It whispers in the quiet of the night, it shouts in the storms of life, it tries to bend your back and still your spirit. But fear is not the master. It is the mirror. It shows you where your courage is waiting to be born. Each of us has walked through seasons where the world seemed too heavy, where the steps forward felt like sinking sand. Setbacks come dressed as disappointments, as rejection, as closed doors and broken hearts. They arrive uninvited, yet they carry lessons only the strong can unwrap. When the ground gives way beneath your feet, it is not to bury you, but to teach you how to plant your roots deeper. Strength is not sculpted in the moments of ease. Strength is the child born of struggle, the flame that rises after the ashes. Every scar is a verse in your story, every fall a note in your song. Do not hide them, for they are proof that you stood up one more time than you fell. You see, fear will tell you to stop, but your soul will tell you to rise. Setbacks will say you are broken, but your spirit will whisper you are becoming. You were not made to bow to doubt. You were made to walk through fire and come out shining. And when you rise, trembling yet taller, the world will know that no setback has the final word. Fear is the oldest companion of humankind. It has walked beside us since the first breath, whispering warnings, holding back dreams, reminding us of our fragility. Yet though fear is ancient, it has never been the ruler. It can walk with you, but it cannot define you. Fear stands at the edge of every choice, waiting to see whether you will surrender to its cold grip or rise to claim the warmth of your own power. Life is not generous with certainty. It does not hand us a map with clear directions, nor a guarantee that the road will be smooth. Instead, it offers us valleys, it offers us storms, it offers us nights that seem to have no dawn. And in those nights, fear grows louder. It tries to convince you that your stumble is your destiny, that your failure is your final chapter. But my beloved, setbacks are not stones meant to crush you. They are stepping stones meant to lift you higher, if only you dare to step again. Think of the seed buried in the darkness of the earth. It does not curse the soil for being heavy. It does not fear the weight above it. Instead, it pushes against that pressure, reaching for the unseen light. Without the burden of the soil, there would be no growth. Without the darkness, there would be no stretching toward the sun. And so it is with us. The setbacks that bury us are the very grounds from which we rise. I know what it is to fall, to lose, to wonder if the voice within has gone silent. I know what it feels like to stand at the edge of despair, wondering if the strength to continue has abandoned me. But strength is not absent in those moments. It is forming, quietly, beneath the surface. Strength grows in the silence, in the waiting, in the aching. Strength is not the roar when everything is going well. It is the whisper that says, try again, when everything has gone wrong. Fear says you are not enough. It says the mountain is too high, the river too wide, the dream too bold. Fear points to your wounds and calls them weakness. But let me tell you this, the very place where you were wounded can become the place where your greatest power emerges. A scar is not the end of a story. It is the evidence that healing has begun. Every person who has ever risen, every person who has ever overcome carries scars, and those scars speak more loudly than fear ever could. You may think that courage is the absence of fear, but courage is the dance with fear, the decision to move forward even with trembling hands and uncertain steps. Courage is the voice that answers, yes, I will try again, even when yesterday ended in failure. Courage is the light that flickers, fragile yet steady, in the winds of adversity. And with every step, that light grows stronger, until the darkness cannot hold it. Setbacks will come. They will visit you in your work, in your relationships, in your dreams. They will arrive without invitation, and they may stay longer than you wish. But setbacks are not enemies. They are teachers. They strip away illusions, they reveal truths, they shape resilience. You cannot know the depth of your strength until you have been tested by trial. You cannot measure the power of your will until you have faced the walls that tried to contain you. You were not created small. You were not crafted to shrink beneath the weight of fear. You were born with a spirit vast as the horizon, resilient as the ocean, unyielding as the mountain. Every time you stand up after falling, you declare that truth. Every time you rise above fear, you testify that strength is not in never stumbling, but in always rising again. The world will try to name you by your losses. It will say you are defined by the opportunities missed, by the failures recorded, by the mistakes remembered. But the world does not hold the authority to name you. You hold that power. you can look at your setbacks and say, "This is not my ending. This is my beginning." You can take the fragments of what was broken and build something new, something greater, something no fear could destroy. When you face fear, do not run from it. Stand in its presence. Look it in the eye. Ask it what it has come to teach you. For fear, when faced, begins to lose its grip. Fear, when confronted, begins to shrink. It is only when we avoid fear that it grows larger than it truly is. Step toward it, and you will find it was never as strong as it pretended to be. There will be moments when the voices of doubt grow so loud that you can barely hear your own. There will be times when the people around you cannot understand your struggle, when you feel unseen, unheard, misunderstood. In those moments, lean into the quiet voice within, the one that tells you that you are more than your mistakes, more than your pain, more than your past. That voice has always been there. It is the voice of your spirit, and it will not abandon you. You are stronger than you imagine. You are wiser than you realize. And every setback, every failure, every fear you have faced has been shaping you, carving into you the strength to rise higher. Do not despise the struggle. It is the artist that shapes the masterpiece of your soul. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without struggle, there is no strength. Without setbacks, there is no rising. So, when fear comes knocking, answer it not with trembling, but with truth. Tell fear that you have fallen before and risen. Tell fear that you have been broken and rebuilt. Tell fear that you are not defined by the shadows, but by the light that will not die within you. Tell fear that you are more than the sum of your setbacks. You are the strength born from them. Every tear you have cried has watered the soil of your becoming. Every closed door has turned your feet toward a better path. Every heartbreak has stretched your heart to hold more love. Nothing has been wasted. Not one setback, not one failure, not one fear. All of it has been shaping you for this moment, preparing you for the rise that comes after the fall. So rise. Rise with your scars. Rise with your lessons. Rise with your trembling, with your courage, with your unbroken spirit. Rise not in spite of fear, but because of it. Rise not in denial of your setbacks, but with gratitude for the strength they have given you. Rise above fear, and let your very life be the proof that no setback has the power to silence the human spirit. Fear does not always arrive with thunder and lightning. Sometimes it slips in quietly, wearing the face of hesitation, draped in the silence of self-doubt. It creeps into your thoughts, asking questions that weaken your stride. What if you fail? What if they laugh? What if you are not worthy? But those questions are not prophecies. They are echoes of a fear that has forgotten your strength. You must answer not with retreat, but with resolve. For every what if I fail, there must be a louder what if I rise. Life is a constant exchange of falling and standing, of breaking and mending. No one walks this earth untouched by disappointment. Even the brightest stars are born from the collapse of great darkness. Even the strongest oak was once a fragile sprout trembling in the wind. It is in the trembling that endurance is born, in the collapse that new galaxies appear. And in the chapters of your own life, every setback is a punctuation mark, not the end of the sentence. I have seen people carry the weight of fear as though it were their only inheritance. They drag it into every room, every dream, every relationship, until their back bends and their hope falters. But fear is not your inheritance. Strength is, resilience is. The breath that keeps rising in your chest despite every fall is proof of that. When you choose to rise, you are reclaiming what has always belonged to you. Some setbacks are small, a word that wounds, an opportunity missed, a plan that crumbles. Others arrive like earthquakes, shaking the very ground of your being, rearranging everything you thought you knew. Yet, whether small or great, each setback asks the same question: will you let this define you, or will you let this refine you? For there is a difference. To be defined by a setback is to say, this is who I am now, broken and bound. To be refined by a setback is to declare, this has shaped me, but it will not stop me. I am stronger because of it. Fear is clever. It knows the shape of your dreams, and it aims for the places where you feel most vulnerable. It will whisper, you are not educated enough. You are not gifted enough. You are not strong enough. But if you pause and look back, you will see that you have already overcome more than fear would ever admit. You have faced nights that seemed endless, storms that threatened to consume you, and still here you stand. That is proof enough. You need not wait for permission to believe in your strength. You have already earned it. I tell you this: do not despise your setbacks. They are the soil from which your greatest victories will bloom. A diamond is not born without pressure. Gold is not purified without fire. A river does not carve valleys without resistance. So too with you. Your strength will not reveal itself in comfort but in conflict, not in ease but in endurance. When life says no, do not stop listening. Somewhere in the silence another yes is waiting. When doors close, do not think the journey has ended. Sometimes the closed door is protection. Sometimes it is redirection. But it is never your prison unless you choose it to be. Remember that a closed door can force you to find a window. And a window can lead to horizons you never imagined. Fear wants you small. It wants you quiet. It wants you to trade your voice for silence, your dream for safety. But you were not born for smallness. The very rhythm of your heartbeat declares that you are alive for something greater. Every rise after every fall is an anthem, a defiance, a refusal to bow. You will meet people who tell you your dreams are too large, your vision too wide, your hope too unrealistic. But these voices are often speaking from their own fear, not your truth. Do not let their fear become yours. Let your vision guide you even when the path is unseen. Walk forward even when fear shouts that you cannot. Each step is proof that you are greater than the shadows that chase you. And when you stumble, and you will, do not be ashamed of the stumble. A stumble is evidence of movement. A stumble means you are not standing still. It means you are daring to live, daring to try, daring to reach. Celebrate the stumble, for it is the partner of progress. Only those who never move avoid stumbling, but they also avoid growth, avoid change, avoid the beauty of rising. There will be moments when you are tired, when the weight of your setbacks feels unbearable. In those moments, rest if you must, but do not quit. Rest, breathe, gather yourself and rise again. Strength is not measured by how swiftly you run but by how faithfully you continue. Even the slowest rise is still a rise, and every rise is a victory over fear. Your story is not a story of fear. It is a story of overcoming. It is a story of nights endured, of mornings embraced, of dreams pursued despite the odds. Each chapter of pain is followed by a chapter of power. Each setback is followed by a new beginning. Do not edit out the hard parts of your story, for they are the passages that give the rest its meaning. When you look into the mirror, do not only see the scars, the failures, the disappointments. Look deeper. See the resilience that refused to die. See the strength that carried you through. See the courage that has brought you this far and will carry you further still. You are not the reflection of your fear. You are the reflection of your faith, your endurance, your unbreakable will. So keep rising. Rise when fear tells you to stay down. Rise when setbacks tell you it's over. Rise when the world cannot see your worth. Rise when the weight feels too heavy. Rise because you are the proof that fear cannot win. Rise because your story is not finished. Rise because every setback is not the end but the beginning of your strength. Then hear me now. Fear may walk beside you, but it cannot own you. Setbacks may visit you, but they cannot define you. You are the rising, the relentless, the unbroken. You are the song that refuses to end, the flame that refuses to die, the spirit that refuses to bow. Stand tall in the face of every fall and declare with your living, with your breathing, with your rising, that no shadow is stronger than your light. Carry this truth into every tomorrow. You were not born to be conquered, you were born to overcome.